Now we come to the lighting for R2-D2. Now with R2-D2, what we need to do is we need to sort of test it as always. Now, as I say, you haven't got this little sort of battery light tester here, but you will get it. So maybe you might want to sort of, I don't know, sort of like leave this step until you do get hold of this, just so as you can test the light on. Here we got it the wrong way around. This should work, so I have just tested it. There we go, just test it just there, lights on. We know we can put it all together without any sort of problems. It's pretty much the same as what we did before, bringing our two pieces of our leg together, only this time we just need to feed through our little light here, and it's just about getting as neat as you can with this. Right, so we basically want to put these little plates in these little slots just here, either side, just like so, putting these little plates in, and you just need to feed the wire. You just need to feed the wire up just so it's all nice and neat, so you can actually bring these two pieces together. So just take your time and make sure it's all nice and neat, press it down, get it all right. Maybe do like another quick test before you actually put it in, just to make sure, because I think you do need to have these plates the right way around, which as you can see I've just tested it and it looks like I need to turn them around. So just make sure you just keep testing. As I say, probably a good idea to save this bit until you get your little tester. So you should end up with something like this, with our little light sticking just out up there. Let that nicely dry. Then we have the bottom part of our cockpit just here. Nice and simple. All we need to do is you get a nice little screwdriver with this, get one of our little screws and the actual piece itself. They are quite cool. They do actually sort of label on here like right side, so you know, we put it on the right side, just pops in there, whack a screw in the back. You know, all this is pretty sort of simple, which kind of makes this kit rather cool. And this is all like nicely metal, so you can see how, like, you know, it's going to be big, but it's also going to be quite strong, heavy, quite sturdy. So we just screw that in nicely like so, maybe leaving it a little bit sort of loose, because I do know we are going to be putting little parts on the side here, and if it's all nicely tightened up, I do believe there's like a big sort of brace that goes along here, which needs to line up with all three of these. So leaving it just that little bit loose just means that when we put the pieces onto there, it's going to line up better, and then we can sort of tighten it up fully later on. So we've got our little laser generator just here, which is all nicely, you know, pre-painted and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't really matter because it's just going to be encased into this. So plain and simply, for this it would be a good idea to get some of our tamarind cement, right, put a blob in each one of these little sort of holding things, and then we've got our two little prongs that are just sticking out there, and we can just place that onto there like so. Right, and just make sure our little wire, we've got this little notch just there, make sure that is going to come out like so. Right, give it a good press down, and there we go. And then plain and simply we bring both of these halves together. Right, we want to make sure it's all nicely lining up when we do this as well. As you can see, there's probably a little bit of a, you know, gap going on just there. We make sure we don't have any steps, so we want to sort of like push that in a way. I don't know if you can just see and we've got this little step just there, but if we kind of push it at a certain angle, we can get it all nice and flush, and that's basically what we are after. Now with this kit, I would recommend we don't glue in this part just here, because this is going to go on there like so. Not to glue that in just yet. There is another piece, because we are going to have to take this apart, and we're threading these oh, I forgot what they was called, but these long clear rods which kind of takes that light and kind of shoots it out the end, which is going to go just on here. Hopefully you can see there, that goes on there. This will then slide down onto here, right, and this rod just goes all the way through there and makes a nice little light on the end. So really what you want to be doing is sort of leave that off for now. We do have this end piece on here that sort of holds it together, right, so we want to sort of push that in nicely, right, and then what we want to do is, again, we want to get out the usual sort of routine and techniques of let's get out our pegs, right, and you might want to sort of again angle them in that way where it's sort of, because we have got a bit of a step on this one. I mean, each piece might be slightly different, but yeah, basically if you sort of angle our pegs like so, it sort of gets rid of that step a bit, just to make a neater glue line. And all we do is we can then sort of run our Tamiya extra thin cement across here. Remember how Tamiya extra thin cement, it will sort of eat into your paint, so when you see me run this across here, you really just want to run it across once, and you don't want to be kind of touching it, keep going at it and going at it, because eventually, you know, it will eat that paint. I mean, it's not such a bad idea just to maybe sort of touch it and let it just go right in. Maybe if I could get like a big blob, and you'll see how when we sort of touch, that blob has just sucked right in there, and that has probably travelled all the length of probably all that there with glue, so you haven't got to worry so much about that. And we just want to go all the way around, make sure we've got no steps, and that is basically it. I mean, I would sort of put all this together and everything, but as I say, I mean, you can't glue it yet because we've got to get that rod and stuff, and then there's also this piece here that sort of sticks onto here, but then also it does attach. There's should be two little holes just here, which then it goes into there also, like so. But as I say, you can't do any gluing until we get that nice little rod, which will most likely be for the next set of magazines that should arrive next month. So hopefully you've enjoyed so far this sort of step-by-step of building the X-Wing. I know it's been a little bit basic, maybe a bit sort of long-winded, but as these episodes go by, I mean, I won't be sort of teaching you all the little sort of basic stuff, and probably just jump straight through and carry on. And actually, I mean, I did get my hands on, just to sort of show you the kind of scale we're looking at, I did get my hands on a few future sort of releases, and you know, here is, hopefully as you can see, this is like what we've been building just here. Hopefully as you can see there, and it is quite massive. There is a nice wing section, you can see all the paintwork looking really cool, actually, for like something that's pre-painted. I do like how you've got this sort of, it's been obviously sprayed with some sort of a grey colour, and then it's kind of got this misty speckly sort of spray work on top of that, which gives that sort of lovely weathered look. But we do have recessed panel lines and everything in this, which is going to be good for going off and adding a bit of weathering, just add that little bit extra just to give it that bit more life, and sort of take it that one extra step, which will probably be a lot more down the line, because really want to sort of get all the pieces, get it all together, and then we'll probably do all this sort of weathering stuff and sort of bring it to life that way. I probably will sort of seal it all in with like a spray matte coat and do any sort of glossy effects and all that kind of stuff, just to bring it all together. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but because when we use glue, you can see that quite clear with the camera, how the glue does leave a bit of a glossiness to it. So coming along with the matte coat, it'll sort of blend all that in, and you won't notice those sort of glue lines on there. So yeah, that's sort of like a bit of a future look at things, and where this is going to be going. Hopefully you enjoy it, hopefully you get involved. Remember, go to the Deagostini website, where you can probably sign up and subscribe to this this whole thing. Here at Genesis Models, we've got a website, forum, everything, and you know, we've got all sorts of step-by-step video builds on sort of scale models and stuff. I know this is a little bit different, but we go into loads more sort of like spraying, deckling, all sorts of cool stuff. So check out Genesis Models website as well. But hopefully you've enjoyed the first episode here at Genesis Models, and hope to see you for the next episode. So until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.